how do you land a golden offer, right? The offers which pay you 10 to 30K per month OTE commissions as working as a closer most of the times, and sometimes around 10K plus as a setter, right? So after running my sales agency for the last 2 years, serving over 100 businesses plus placing over 2,000 sales reps, we cracked the code for landing the best offers in the market, or the golden offers. So I'm gonna give you some context, right? So if you're watching this, you probably should be a sales rep who already knows that you're better than the offer that you're currently stuck on. So give me around 10 to 20 minutes, right? Because what I'm about to show you is gonna be saving you at least 1 year worth of your trial and errors. So let's get right into it. If you're taking away just one thing from this presentation, make this, right? You're not stuck because you're bad at sales. You're never stuck because you're bad at sales, because there's a lot of people who are worse than you at sales making more money than you. I can guarantee you that, right? And I have watched so many closers, a lot of them, probably a lot worse than you, walk into the right rooms and out earn great closers who are working on a mid-tier offer, right? On a 3-to-1 ratio, which is like 3x commissions. So it's not because they're more talented overnight, because no one really gets better in a week or 2 weeks or even a month, right? Because it's something different. They figured out something that most reps never do, which is the offer is your ceiling and it's not you. The offer which you're selling on, that is your ceiling. It is not you. So stick with me for a bit, because I'll show you one door which a lot of people miss and nobody really talk about on how to solve this problem, right? So I think it's safe to imagine that you're on offer paying you around 10% commissions. The leads are not 100% warm. Half of them don't even pick up your calls. Maybe they don't show up to your calls. Your funnel's a mess, and the founder don't really have great case studies that you can leverage to close the deals, right? And because of that, you're on the phone all day, running on caffeine. There's nothing wrong with that, but running on caffeine, telling yourself that if you just tighten your script or sharpen your objection handling tactics, the money is gonna come. Now that's really a bad loop to be in, because it doesn't work like that. But then you see some guys who just started 2 to 3 months ago that fumbles in like tonality, can't even remember his frameworks, and casually mentions that he cleared 10K per month in commissions randomly. You probably have seen it. A lot of people are saying it right now because of the thing which I'm going to be talking about now. And you might be thinking, how is this guy who just came in out earning me? Because you did everything right. So why are you capped at under 10K per month? That's the question which I asked when I was starting out. I'm thinking that there's a lot of people who are relating to this with me right now. Now, coming back to the actual reason behind it, which is your income in sales is not really about how good you are. It is about the skills which you have times the offer which you're working on. That is equal to the income that you produce, right? And most reps spend their whole career obsessing over the first thing and ignoring the one that actually makes the biggest difference. Because the part about skill set is that you can make your skill set to a point where you're 90% great, and the progression after that is going to be so hard. It's just like hitting the gym. The first 6 months you're going to gain the most amount of muscles, but after 2 to 3 years of training, it's going to be significantly harder to get even 1 to 2% better. It's the same concept, but for an offer, it's a completely new variable. So you're great at sales, but now you're adding on another variable which is going to multiply your income, just like how you do when it comes to the close rate, for example, going from 20% to 45% on steroids. That's the principle of this, right? So let's understand the whole golden offer paradox, why this actually even matters in the first place, right? The first question which you would have is, what is a golden offer in high ticket sales? So you've probably seen closers on great offers make more money than you, even when they're not on your same level or even sometimes worse than you, right? This usually happens because they're on something called a golden offer, as I mentioned before. Now, the main question is, what is a golden offer? A golden offer is an offer with more qualified buyer demand than the sales team can physically handle, right? And there are offers like this, trust me. It's not like there's no offers like this. There's a shit ton of offers like this. Most reps think golden offers pay so well because of the lead volume, but that's not usually the case, right? That's maybe 20% of it. A closer can, let's say for example, take max to max 8 quality calls per day anyways, right? Any half decent offer can generate that. That's not really a big advantage. I'll show you what the big advantage is, right? On a golden offer, other than the lead flow, you're going to have these 4 elements, which is number 1, the buyers coming in into the closing call are already problem aware and they have urgency to solve that problem which they're facing right now. Number 2, the offer owners, they usually have a pipeline of leads who are ready to be booked on a call but haven't been dialed yet because of booking capacity of the closer's calendar, right? So closers, when they're not, for example, taking calls, can be dialing during no-shows. That's the second aspect, unlimited lead volume, the 20% which I mentioned. And third one, they have some of the best sales managers in the game, right? Who can turn any average sales rep who's willing to put in the work into top performers. And last but not the least, an army of other top performing 1% sales reps as their colleagues or work partners. Let's say, for example, these 4 things are the main reason why a golden offer turns anyone into a superstar. So, digging a bit deep into it, even when an average sales rep is hired into a golden offer, regardless of their current skill set, they're forced to level up into someone who can make 20k per month in commissions because of the lead quality, the lead volume, the sales training from those sales managers, and the standards set by the top 1% reps. As everyone knows, you are the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Now, in this case, you are the sum of these 4 elements that is surrounded by you in an offer, right? And that is exactly why you should be on a golden offer. Now, a great closer on a garbage offer still struggle because he's dealing with cold leads, no proof of concept for client results, lower commission 10%. Yes, it's decent, it's industry standards, but the bigger offers, they usually compensate you way more. We have some strategies which we used to get even 15 and 20% commissions for our closer, which I can get into it later on, but that and nothing worth chasing towards, right? But an average rep on a real offer, a golden offer, with buyers who are ready to show up to buy, a pipeline waiting to be dialed, a sales manager who turns people around, and the environment that can pull him into 20 grand a month faster than he's ready for. Now, this is what I want you to understand as well. As I mentioned in the first part, he did not get a better training or a better skill set than you. He just landed somewhere different. You know, when you play these video games, you start landing on different places. If you go to the edge, you're probably not going to get any loot that is worthwhile. But if you're landing in the middle where everyone else is landing, the top players are landing for fucking dominating, you're going to get the best of the best loot, right? It's the same concept on this as well. So what I want you to take away from this is the offer which you're on is the ceiling which is stopping you from making over $10,000 per month. Now, the next question which I get asked is, why can't I just find one offer? It's not that easy, right? Because the best offers don't really post on Indeed, LinkedIn, or I don't know, like whatever career platforms, and they don't even take cold applications. They hire from inside sales networks, offer owners because they know each other, and sales managers who are passing good reps around. And right now, you're probably standing outside all of that, right? You probably noticed this as well because if you're in touch with sales managers, they're always hiring. I'm always hiring. If you know me, you probably know that I'm always hiring for great offers, which leaves you 2 ways on how you can get into a golden offer. Number 1 is going to be building your network from scratch. You probably have seen a lot of closers putting out their fake call recordings or fake objection handling. This is that, right? Spending 12 to 15 months getting good at sales and becoming loud enough where the right people actually start noticing you. It works. I'm not going to pretend that it doesn't, right? But it's slow as hell. And you'd bleed your whole income and paycheck along this way. It's going to take you at least 1 to 1.5 years for doing this method. Or number 2, the smart people do this, which is borrowing someone else's authority, right? Stop building your access from scratch and get to someone who already has it and skip the line entirely. Now, that method is called the borrowed access. This information are paradox. So I want you to understand this, right? Information is everywhere nowadays. So for example, if you go to YouTube videos, right, every script, every breakdown, every closing call, it's already free on YouTube. You don't even need sales training at this point nowadays because everyone else is competing with each other, sending out free training on YouTube, right, to portray themselves as the best sales coach. So you don't really lack information now. The information was never your problem as well, right? When you get around someone who's already built a network, you skip the line on 3 things that would actually normally cost you a couple of years, right? Which is going to be these 3 things. Number 1, the network. Instead of cold applying, you get introduced to founders running off. That's already printing. That is the most important part, right? Access. Number 2, credibility, right? So you walk into rooms already vouched for and trusted even before you start taking calls because the person who gets introduced to, they already trust the person who's introducing, right? For example, if I'm placing some of my reps into offers, the offerer already trusts me because I have built my reputation within them, right? So they actually trust me. So that's the second advantage which you would get. And number 3 is going to be market knowledge. Instead of trying to figure out which offers are bad and which offers are good, you would actually get the understanding on, yes, the offer which you're landing on is actually something which you can print on, right? These are the 3 things that helps you get ahead of most of the other people in the industry who's making low commissions. Now, the main takeaway from this is that You don't raise your ceiling by getting better at sales. Yes, it matters. You have to be at least decent. You can't be a bad rep on a good offer. You're probably going to get fired, right? But if you're even decent at sales, you don't really have to raise your ceiling by getting better, right? You raise it by getting closer to where the money is. Look at all these rich people you see online, or even the real rich people, like the billionaires. None of them are really smart. They just have access to the right people, the right network to actually do what they want to do. So, coming back, I want you to be honest with yourself here, right? There's two things that are quietly keeping you exactly where you are, which are, number one, the story that if you just grinded hard enough on a bad offer, you'll eventually make more money or get discovered by a golden offers, right? Which you probably won't. You just burn another year proving it, right? And the reason for this is because a lot of people are pushing this agenda, most probably the sales coaches, like some of them, not all of them, some of them push this, saying things like, oh, it's not the offer problem, it's actually you who's not working. They do this so that they don't really get blamed for putting you on a bad offer, and they don't really have to refund you, or like there's no fulfillment bottlenecks, right? So that's the first part of it. Second part of it is there's a whole layer of people selling you access that they don't have, right? They charge 10K, 15K, 5K, pointing you to the same opportunities that you would otherwise find yourself and vanish once you pay. Now, don't get me wrong, the price is never a problem, right? I invest into myself thousands of dollars. I don't really even care about how much the price is. It's not about that. It is that they're selling you a network that they were never plugged into. For example, I had a girl who reached out to me wanting a role, saying that she was already in the closing academy. And I asked her why she's applying with me, why they're not placing her, right? And this was her answer. I already invested into a mentorship, and it's like a dog eat world. I was like, what do you mean by that? And she was like, in that academy, every women are dying for the same thing, and it's so disappointing, and I'm not getting the help that I thought I would. So this is another thing that is causing a lot of people to not get to where they want to be in terms of like the commissions which they're making. I want you to understand this as well, right? I can say that because I was that rep. Nobody really handed me that network when I was starting out. I spent like a whole year, not a whole year to be fair, more than 2 years, grinding on cold leads, on offers that were never gonna pay me, watching guys with half my skill set walk straight past me because they got around the right people, and I did not have that privilege at that point of time. And I was, okay, as a metaphor, I was digging for gold with my bare hands while everyone with the connection had a shovel to dig with. That's deep. I'm like a fucking Shakespeare quote. But anyways, after 2 years managing and signing clients with 100 plus businesses, placing over 2,000 plus sales reps over, I think I mentioned this before, I think this is not relevant, but anyways, we are now partnered with the Empire Group, right? So if you don't know that, it's a cross-border recruitment, payment solution, everything all in one company, right? Where we are placing sales reps across 7 regions: Asia, Middle East, Europe, Canada, USA, Australia, and Latin America, right? Which means we are about to hire more reps than we ever have, but only the ones we have trained personally, because I'm not willing to put myself in a position where I'm gonna be burning bridges or burning relationships because I placed wrong sales reps, because we charge businesses for it, right? And one more thing which I want you to understand is I'm not gonna hand you like a job board, right? Job boards are, it's good, but it's not the best, right? Those are not, the things which we have are not openings on like offers which we don't manage. It's like hands-on applications on the offers which we run ourselves, right? And also, these are warm introductions. You come through me with my network, with my credibility behind you, straight to the founders and managers we already work with, supplying sales reps to. But I only put my name behind the reps I know can perform. And that's what this training and the room is for. Not as a product itself, but as proving ground so that you earn the introduction. And that is why we created the Sales Monarchs community. These are the things that you're going to get access to inside. Number one is going to be the whole Sales Monarchs curriculum, which is a big training library worth of materials of sales, mindset, discipline, etc., which is well over worth $3,000. Secondly, you're going to get a job board of over 200 golden offers per month, which is worth over $6,000. Now, you might be thinking, where did I get this number from? I'm actually lowballing it. So, for example, as you can see over here, we usually charge sales reps for placement around $650 to $1,000 per placement up until now. Now, we have so much demand that we cannot do it, and we have to charge business owners more money than what we can do with sales reps, right? So, this is easily worth over $6,000. Now, after that, it's going to be 2 times group coaching calls directly with me, which is worth over $6,000. That's what I usually charge, right? That's that. And also access to 7 to 9 figure entrepreneurs doing masterminds for you. So this guy, for example, is one of my partners in this project. He's the founder of the Empire Group, who's done well over 8 figures with his own banking company, with his own agency. As you can see, he's like with the Wolf of Wall Street. He's like a great guy, and his network, he's going to be bringing in a lot of people from his network and even my network who are big business owners. So we're going to be speaking to you about like all sales discipline, how to make more money, all this kind of jazz, right? Now let's understand what is actually worth, right? The Sales Monarchs curriculum, which is $3,000, though 200 plus, it's actually like a bare minimum. We're going to have much more than 200, but that offer is going to be 6,000. The weekly coaching, 6,000. The direct access to these entrepreneurs is like balling 8,000, and the room and the standards, the reps who are going to be in there, it's easily over $24,000 per year. That's what you'd be looking at if you were going for it individually, right? But the Sales Monarch community, the room, the offers, the standards, the training, and the access, all of it, today you can grab it for $97 a month. Just $97 this instant. And one thing which I want you to understand is that this is going to be capped after the first 100 members. After 100 people, obviously just like every other sales course, we're going to make it really high ticket, right? We're going to charge $12,000 per year for this program. But the founding members can lock it in for $97 a month for life. Once the 100 spots are gone, it's gone. We can't really guarantee these spots, right? Now, let's do the math. For something that is worth $24,000, which is soon to be $12,000, you pay only $97 a month, which is less than what you would lose in a single week sitting on a dead offer. Now, a sharp rep would be wondering why this is $97 and not 12 grand right now. It doesn't really make any sense. Why can't you just make it 12 grand from the get-go? Pretty simple. We need sales reps right now, right? I don't make money on this membership. I make it when I get you placed and you produce, right? So I'm not incentivized to sell you hope and disappear. I'm incentivized to get you placed and keep you performing. Our interests in this point are in the same direction because our main business is my sales agency, where business owners pay us a fat revenue share for running their sales teams and their products. Pretty simple. So it's a win-win for both of us in this situation. Let's go through some proof that whatever I just told you actually works, right? So let's start with this guy, Henry. So before he came to us, to our agency, he was offer stacking 2 different offers. He was making around less than 2K per month. In the first month working with us, he made 7.6K GBP, which is well over 10.5K USD in just the first 30 days of working with us. Let's go for more. Now, Joe the Moon, we placed onto another offer which we used to run, which he made over $10,000 in OTE from closing in the first month, right? Now, Emmanuel was one of my students, now hitting 9K to 10K per month mark. These are other people. So for example, Dominic, he was placed directly into like 500K a month cash collected offer, a great offer. Dan, who was like starting from scratch, went to like literally 6K per month in his very first offer. And there's countless people just like that. I could just be speaking because we run a sales agency. We recruit a shit ton of sales reps like this, right? Now, there's 2 things which could happen in the next 12 months. There could be a version of you who keeps doing it alone. Another year of random offers, the same ceiling, still waiting for you, and you're just waiting for it to come. Or there's a version of you with a better identity of the person who's actually investing himself into the right network to get access to the right people and grab the founding spot today, walk into the room, and a year from now is the new rep everyone is scratching their head about, as in, oh shit, this guy was not in the space for even that long. How did he make it so quick? So that's the 2 things which could happen. And there's one thing which I want to say as well. There are no commitments on this, which means you can stay as long as it's making you money. If it doesn't make you money, you're free to leave. If it makes you money, you're free to stay. It doesn't matter. You can cancel anytime, right? But here's the best part. If you do not find value or make money for what you paid for, I'll refund you every penny. No questions asked in this, because I couldn't care less about the $97 a month subscription. We are purely doing it for the love of the game. And I want to end it by saying this. Same 12 months, either way, the only thing that changed is who you are at the end of them. So go grab a founding spot, come and do the work, and I'll see you on the other side, on the Sales Monarchs community.